You ever heard the saying, wherever you go, there you are? Well, I had somebody recently ask me during a coaching session about moving because they thought that if they moved, they'd suddenly be more creative, more productive. And I understand. I mean, I just moved to New Mexico, and I definitely had the feeling that the energy in New Mexico would be more conducive to my creativity and my writing. But that's not enough. Moving isn't enough because you can't just move to create new energy or new results. You take you with you. And that's why we have the saying, wherever you go, there you are. The old emotional baggage comes along with you no matter where you go. You're dragging it along behind you, right? It's in your suitcase or your boxes. What's in there? This old emotional baggage, it's your old stories and your old beliefs and your old identities. And the only way for a new place to impact your results, what you're creating, is if you're different. So I knew that before I came to New Mexico, I had to do some work on myself, some personal and spiritual growth work on myself, or it wouldn't matter where I was, I still wouldn't be writing, right? So you have to be different for a new place to impact your results. That means you have to look at and heal or resolve any old stories you have, misguided beliefs, and incorrect ways of seeing yourself or the world. So for example, if your first husband cheated on you and you can't, if your first husband cheated on you, you can't just move and expect to suddenly trust men or find trustworthy men. You have to heal that wound, and you have to change your story and your identity and your beliefs for anything to change. So you have to change that belief and that story that men cheat on me. Men can't be trusted. Men cheat in general. I attract men who can be trusted. And you have to have a different identity, such as I am a person who attracts partners who can be trusted. That then becomes your new story, your new beliefs. You have to change your belief to men can be trusted. There are men who are committed and honest. I attract men who are committed and trustworthy. That's who I am. So I believe that there are committed and trustworthy men out there, and I am the type of person who can attract committed and trustworthy men. Right? So there's the belief, which is part of the story, because when things happen to you in the past, you interpret them and you give them meaning, and out of that meaning becomes your belief in that story, that interpretation that you've created, and then your identity flows out of that. So another example, if you believe you are a person who is not good with money, you can't just move to a less expensive place, like someplace with lower rent or a smaller mortgage, and expect to have more money. You can't expect to get a raise or even win the lottery and have more money long term. Sure, if your rent or your mortgage is less, that's great, but you're still the same person who believes you can't earn enough money to support yourself, or that you mismanage your money, for instance. You still have the same issues because you're still the same person. And that's why within about 2 years, lottery winners typically end up being back in the same financial straits that they were before they won the lottery. They didn't change. They still believe that they are bad at managing money. They still have the identity of someone who lives in lack or mismanages their money. And that's what they create. So they very quickly squander the money and it's gone. You have to change your story, your beliefs, and your identity. So how do you do that? The first thing I would do is I would look at what you often say about yourself that's negative. You can even ask somebody to give you feedback on this. Like, what stories do I often tell that are negative? How do I see myself that's negative? Because these are your beliefs and your stories about yourself. They're your identity. You might say things like, I never earn enough money. I mismanage my money. I'm a lousy parent. I can't write. I'm bad at math. I can't stick to a diet. I always attract abusive relationships. I'm not good enough. That's who you think you are. That's who you believe you are. That is your story and your identity. The other thing you can do, or the next thing I would suggest you do, is ask yourself who you need to be to have what you want. So if you want better relationships, more money, good health, whatever it is, who do you need to be to have that? So if you want good health, maybe you need to be someone who eats a healthy diet or exercises daily. If you want better relationships, maybe you need to be someone who attracts trustworthy partners, who trust themselves and others, someone outgoing, someone who hangs out in places where there are nice people. If you want more money or a better financial situation, maybe you need to be someone who values their value, charges what they're worth, or who gets paid what they're worth. Maybe you need to be someone who is good at managing money, or a person who surrounds themselves with people who help them manage their money. Now, the third thing that I would suggest you do is that you ask yourself, if I were that person I just said I'd be, someone who values their value, or who attracts trustworthy partners, or who only eats a healthy diet. If I were that person, what would I do? How would I behave? So for instance, in all these situations, examples I gave you, maybe you'd only buy healthy food at the grocery store. You wouldn't eat junk food. You wouldn't eat after 8 p.m. You'd take time to get to know someone, or ask better questions when you get to know someone. You'd follow your intuition, maybe when meeting people, your gut reactions. Maybe you'd assume the best of people. Maybe you'd manage your money well. Assume the best of people. I'm going to go back there. Or maybe you'd be more suspicious of people. I don't know. But maybe you'd manage your money well, or get help doing so. You'd create a budget and use it, right? And then you see that this is what you're doing is just aligned with your identity. It's who you are. I'm a person who makes health a priority. Therefore, I'm also a person who doesn't buy junk food. I only buy healthy food. I never drink Coke, right? Whatever. You can see how all of this aligns, because then the things you're doing are just aligned with your identity, and you are, they become who you are, right? And that's how you create change, not by moving, not by changing your physical location. You do the deep internal work to change who you're being, who you're actually being, and then align your actions with that identity. That's how you create a new situation or new results. It's about personal growth, sometimes even spiritual growth, as I mentioned, because only by changing yourself will you change your situation, will you get different results. And then when you've changed yourself, when you have transformed, become, taken on a new identity, new behaviors, new beliefs, new actions, then wherever you go, you're creating what you desire. You're creating the results that you really want to get. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I am an intuitive transformational catalyst. I love to help people get from where they are to where they want to go, from who they are to who they want to be and know they can be, without anything getting in the way, meaning you. It's always up here. It's these old stories and beliefs and identities that keep us stuck. So if you're ready to get unstuck, click on the link above and join the Inspired Creator community. That is where I work with people on their personal and spiritual growth, so that they do the transformational work, so that no matter where they are being the person they want to be, doing the things they need to do to have what they want, to create what they want. So again, if that's of interest to you, click above. I offer certified high performance coaching there, and inspired results coaching and training, and so much more. So it would be my honor to serve you, to support you as you step into your best self, as you transform, so that no matter where you are creating the results that you want, that you are being the creator of your life. Till I talk to you next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.